Hey everybody, it's David and welcome to another episode of the Daily D. If you like this, please go down below, subscribe to this channel so that you can get the most up-to-date videos that come out and I publish. I do talk about other things like business, but most importantly, I like to help you with personal development, which is helping oneself get better personally, right? So today's topic is selfishness. Now, I know that's a negative topic to most people when somebody says you're selfish or why are you so selfish or you only think about yourself. That typically in most cases is a negative thing, right? We think, oh gosh, man, that person just isn't going to get ahead because all they do is think about themselves and never about anybody else. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's another side to selfishness that I'm going to talk about. But first, let's talk about selflessness, right? So many people think about selflessness as giving or providing or generosity, right? Contributions, charity work. Those are donations, if you will. Those are the things that we think about. We think about parents, grandparents. We think about community members that give more, like politicians, some politicians. We think about church, like our pastor. We think about nonprofits, people who volunteer their time. These are all selfless people, right? We think about those people quite often as great people, as heroes. You know, sometimes we see them as something that is great in the world, and I believe that wholeheartedly. People who are selfless are great people. The challenge that we face today is that we need to draw the line between selfishness and selfish people. And I wanted to define those lines because one of the things, and I think we all face every day, is to determine when is it appropriate to be selfish. And if you're in business like me today, one of the things that comes to mind every time I think about selfishness, right, is do I look for profits over helping people? And those people could be my customers or they could be my team, right? I could say, do I want to make more money and not pay more people? Or do I want to make less per product and help more customers? You see, we have these decisions every day to make. And when we make these decisions, it's not easy. It's not an easy decision. And in fact, most of the time, if you talk to me, like personally, I usually pick going less profit on the product per product or profit in general so I could pay more people and help more people. That's just me. I've always done that. Now, I am where I am today because of those efforts, right? I could probably have more money. I could probably be more profitable, but I have made that sacrifice. Now, here's the kicker, right? Sometimes it pays to be selfish, right? Sometimes you have to be a little selfish. Sometimes you have to say, hey, enough's enough. I can't give anymore, right? I have to take, and it's not take to be negative. It's I have to be able to provide to my family. I have to be able to provide for the people that I care about, right? So one of the things that I always think about is many people would say, well, if I had, if I just made this much money, I would be happy, I would be content, I don't have anything, that's all I need. And whatever that number is to you or to anybody who watches this video, it's, whatever that number is going to be variable compared to mine or anybody else's. Maybe mine's lower than yours, maybe it's higher than yours, but who knows? But every day we have this ability to make that decision as to what makes us comfortable. Well, some people would settle for that, right? For an example, somebody would say, well, if I just made 100,000, I'd be happy. Okay, why wouldn't you make 101 or 2 or 3? They say, well, because I don't need it. Well, here's the selfish and selfless part, right? Selfish people go to 100,000, that's it. Why is that selfish, by the way? When you cap yourself, that's selfish. And I say that because if you're limiting your ability to perform, to give, to promote, to make more, to do more, to contribute, because you want to be comfortable, if you limit yourself, that's selfishness. Completely selfish. When you make more than 100, you are actually becoming selfless. Why? Because if you really truly only need 100, what would you do with the rest? You'd give it away. You'd be more fruitful. You would give more to charities. You'd give more to your church. You'd provide more to others, right? Now, here's the kicker, right? So you think about this and you think, okay, well, that makes sense, David. Well, what about the people who sacrifice everything? And everything to me is health, right? That's the one thing that you can't live without. You can't live without a healthy body. What about the parents out there who say, well, one day I'll get in shape. One day I'll show up to the gym. One day I'll eat healthy. When's that one day going to come? Well, when my kids are gone. How long does that take? Kids, if I don't know about most of you raising kids, I don't have kids, but I know most kids won't leave you alone till they're probably mid-20s. So are you going to wait till 25 years from the day they're born for you to take health into consideration? I would tell you that would be a long time and probably detrimental to your health, because if you're not watching, monitoring, or working on your health along the way, you are going to sacrifice it. You give and a take. So how do you become selfish in this area? Or why should you become selfish in this area? Because you want to enjoy your children past 25 years. This is the selfish David. This is the selfish you. You see, we got to be selfish sometimes in order for us to be able to provide, to give, to do more. We can't always be a giver. You don't just give it all away. If you made every paycheck and just gave it all away, what would happen? You'd be broke, right? You have to pay your bills and you need to pay yourself. So some people would say, well, I need to pay my bills and I need to help my kids. Well, what about you? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a savings account that will put you past retirement age and comfort? And if you don't, then why are you giving to your kids so they could buy tennis shoes and things that they don't need? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't give things to your kids. I'm just telling you, what makes you believe that you should give more than you have to, right? And I say have to because, to be very honest with you, there's some things that we buy for ourselves or for our families or for our children that we shouldn't buy, and you know that. There's some foods that we shouldn't feed our families or we shouldn't eat ourselves, and we know that. So why don't we make those decisions? It's because we're trying to justify the selfishness in our mind. Well, I do it for my kids. I do it for them. I do it for everybody else but me. The honest truth here is you need to turn that around and say, I do it for me, not them. I give to them because I want to, but in the event that I don't want to, I don't have to. I take care of my body for them, not for me, right? I always tell them, this is something I learned from Tony Robbins, and it was a really good statement, and I think it's so powerful. And if you're watching this and you have a significant other, think about this, okay? You don't keep your health up and your stamina and your fitness up for you. You do it for your significant other so they can still continue to live with you, so that they can be attracted to you physically, probably, so they can feel good about each other, right? These are the things that you do for each other, not for you. Even though it's selfish in act, me going to the gym for myself is me, selfishness, right? But the outward expression of that is selfless. You see how this works? Now let's relate this to business, because I want to relate this to business specifically because things that we go through every day. You see, you can help somebody. I can sacrifice profits to employ somebody full time, and I do that all the time. But how long do you go until they have to do their part, right? It's the same thing with kids. How far can you take your kids before they have to get a damn job and get out of the house and go do something, right? How far will they go? Well, you've got to make a decision. You can't babysit people forever. See, every time I take care of something, that's me being selfless. Every time I put my foot down and I say, hey, I can't do it anymore, that's called selfish, right? Why? Because I'm worried about me, not you anymore. Why do I need to worry about me? Because if I continue to pay you for doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, or you're not doing enough of, or you can't do it all, then I am losing. And because I'm losing, I can't help more people. I can't help the people that want to be helped. I can't help the people that need to be helped. You see, I can't do more because I'm worried about people who don't worry about me. You see that? Some people don't worry about you guys. Some people aren't thinking about you. Somebody should be promoting your health and your wealth and your well-being. That is true selfishness. Somebody who cares about you. You see, it all goes around. Every day you have the ability to be selfish or selfless. Now, I challenge you to be more selfish than you are selfless. Just to be clear, I challenge you to be more selfish. Why? Because I want you to understand that in order for the world to be okay, you got to be okay. In order for the world to be healthy, you got to be healthy. In order for the world to provide you more, you got to have more. And you can't do that by giving it all away. You can't sacrifice your life. You are not a martyr. You are not, a martyr to the world, to your children, to the business. You are an individual who needs and should feel selfish all the time. Think about self first, then others. If you look at airlines, you get on an airplane, the first thing they say is if you are in this airplane and for some reason the cabin loses oxygen, and right above you a mask will fall, and that mask has oxygen, put that mask on first before you give any other masks or help anyone else. That includes your children. Why? Because if you don't have air, you can't give them air. You see? Anyways, I hope this helps you become more selfish, honestly. This is something that we all need to do. So I wish you nothing but health, success, wealth, but most importantly, freedom, guys. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.